Welcome back to the channel Coin Lovers. Today, we are diving deep into the world of American coinage and uncovering one of the most fascinating pieces of modern U.S. history top 7. In the world of coin collecting, there are certain dates and certain mints that carry an almost magical aura, and the year 1979 holds a very special place in the story of the Lincoln Cent. Imagine holding in your hand a small copper coin that at first glance looks just like every other penny you've ever seen. But within its simple design lies a story of history, change, rarity, and potential value that has captured the imagination of collectors around the world. The 1979 1-cent coin may appear ordinary, but for those who know its deeper secrets, it has the power to transform a simple collector into a millionaire overnight. The 1979 Lincoln penny carries a familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design that has stood as a proud symbol of American resilience since 1909. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial glimmers in sharp detail, representing not only architectural beauty, but also national pride. At this time, the U.S. Mint was still striking pennies primarily in copper, a metal that has always had an intrinsic value. With inflation, changing economic policies, and the rising cost of copper, the government was already considering changes that would soon alter the composition of the cent. That makes the 1979 copper pennies among the last of their kind before the great shift of the early 1980s. Collectors are drawn to these coins not just for their composition, but also for the small variations and minting errors that can turn a regular penny into a legendary treasure. A slight double strike on the lettering, an off-center design, or a misaligned die can elevate the value of a coin from a single cent to thousands of dollars at auction. And when these errors are combined with the sturdy copper base of the 1979 cent, the desirability skyrockets. For many, the dream of finding such a coin in their pocket change is like discovering a modern-day gold nugget. The 1979 1-cent copper coin is also tied to a turning point in America's coinage history. By 1982, the government officially shifted away from copper to a cheaper zinc composition, meaning the era of heavy, rich copper pennies was coming to a close. When you hold a 1979 penny, you're not just holding a piece of metal. You are holding a relic from the last chapters of America's true copper cent story. That transition adds depth and gravity to its place in history, making it far more than a simple coin. One of the fascinating things about the 1979 penny is that millions were minted, but only a handful were struck with errors that make them extraordinarily rare. Collectors constantly search for those hidden gems, a coin that looks ordinary but bears a double date, an extra shine, or a unique color tone caused by the chemical reaction of copper over decades. These coins are considered sleeping treasures, hiding in plain sight, waiting to be recognized by a sharp-eyed collector. The copper side of the 1979 penny, when preserved in good condition, gleams with a beauty that stands out against the duller zinc cents that would follow. A coin kept in fine or uncirculated condition carries with it a glow of timelessness, as though its journey through decades has not dulled its spirit. Collectors prize this condition because it preserves the story of the coin exactly as it was struck, allowing future generations to admire its artistry, without the wear and tear of circulation. Now imagine the financial potential. A regular 1979 penny might buy you nothing more than a gumball, but a rare era coin, preserved in flawless copper, has crossed auction floors for unimaginable amounts. We are speaking of values not just in hundreds or thousands, but an amount so staggering that the right coin can indeed change the destiny of its owner overnight. These are the coins that inspire stories of hidden fortunes, coins that could be sitting in a jar, a drawer, or a forgotten box in your attic at this very moment. The story of the 1979 penny is not just about money. It is also about the thrill of discovery. Collectors describe the rush of spotting a unique variety as a heart-pounding moment, almost like unearthing buried treasure. It is that emotional connection, that spark of excitement, that makes this coin legendary in the community of numismatics. It proves that history can be alive in our very hands, waiting for us to notice its hidden messages. Beyond the collector's market, the 1979 penny is also a symbol of resilience. Think about it. A tiny copper disc that has survived decades of use, exchange, and circulation, yet still holds its strength and value. That durability mirrors the resilience of the American spirit during the late 20th century, a period marked by economic shifts, social change, and the dawn of new technological eras. The penny may be small, but it is mighty in what it represents. For anyone who owns such a coin, the message is clear. Do not underestimate it. What appears to be a simple cent may hold the power to alter your fortune forever. If you ever come across a 1979 copper penny in gleaming condition, or one with striking variations, treat it like the treasure it truly is. It is not just loose change. It is a doorway into history and wealth. As the years pass, coins like the 1979 penny will only grow rarer, and their stories will only grow louder. Future generations will look back at these coins with wonder, just as we marvel at the rare coins of the 1800s today. The key is recognition, awareness, and the understanding that sometimes the smallest things can carry the greatest value. In the end, the 1979 United States 1-cent copper coin is more than currency. It is a legend. It is a symbol of history, artistry, rarity, and unimaginable potential. Whether it makes you a billionaire overnight or simply connects you to the spirit of American resilience, one thing is certain. This coin is not to be underestimated. It is a tiny treasure with the power to change lives and rewrite fortunes 1 cent at a time. Would you like me to also create a YouTube-style voiceover script version of this? Shorter sentences, more dramatic tone, and hooks at the beginning, so it grabs the audience in seconds. Next up in the fascinating world of American coinage, few years stand out as boldly as 1982. This was the year that marked one of the most important turning points in the history of the Lincoln cent. At first glance, the 1982 penny may seem like any other copper-colored coin, tucked away in jars, drawers, or old wallets across the nation. Yet, for collectors who understand its deeper secrets, this coin has the potential to change an ordinary life into a story of overnight fortune. It is a coin that carries history, mystery, and unimaginable value hidden in plain sight. The magic of the 1982 penny lies in the fact that it was the year of transition. Up until this time, pennies have been struck primarily from solid copper, heavy and rich with metallic brilliance. But as copper prices began to rise sharply, it became more expensive to mint pennies than the coin was worth. The U.S. Mint decided to make a bold change, shifting the cent's composition from copper to a lighter, cheaper zinc core with only a thin copper coating. That decision created two different versions of the 1982 penny, one made of real copper and the other made of zinc. This dual identity is what makes the 1982 penny one of the most extraordinary coins in U.S. history. But the story doesn't end there. Within that single year, multiple varieties were produced, including small date and large date designs. Each subtle difference created new possibilities for rarity. A 1982 copper penny with a small date is considered one of the most desirable, while certain zinc varieties are also watched closely by collectors. These variations, combined with the historic transition, have given the 1982 penny a legendary reputation, with some rare examples fetching staggering prices that sound almost unbelievable. Imagine the thrill of discovering a 1982 copper penny tucked away in change, realizing that the weight of history, and possibly millions of dollars, rests in your hand. Collectors around the world describe this as the kind of coin that could make you a billionaire overnight. It is not just a piece of metal, but a ticket to life-changing fortune. And yet, so many people overlook it, spending it without realizing its hidden power. That is why those who recognize it feel as though they are uncovering buried treasure in the most ordinary places. The copper side of a 1982 penny, especially when kept in fine condition, gleams with a deep, warm glow that zinc coins simply cannot replicate. It feels heavier, stronger, more authentic. When you hold it, you are not just holding a coin, you are holding the last breath of an era that valued real copper in every cent. To collectors, that weight is more than metal. It is meaning, proof of authenticity, and a direct connection to America's economic history. Condition plays a huge role in the value of the 1982 penny. While circulated examples may still bring attention, coins preserved in uncirculated or near-perfect states can rise to unimaginable prices. A single flawless penny with rare variety can fetch thousands, even hundreds of thousands, at auction. The dream of $1 million penny isn't just fantasy. It is reality for those who discover the right piece. And that is why collectors guard their 1982 copper pennies with the same care one would give to precious jewels. But beyond wealth, the 1982 penny tells a cultural story. It reflects a moment in America when economic shifts forced even the smallest coin to change its identity. It shows how the rising cost of raw materials can alter history, turning a coin many saw as insignificant into a collector's masterpiece. Each 1982 penny is a witness to that transformation, a silent storyteller how value is defined not just by money but by history, rarity, and demand. For many collectors, the 1982 penny has become a symbol of hope. The idea that a tiny, overlooked coin can transform into a fortune reminds us that opportunities often hide in plain sight. Stories of people finding rare pennies in old piggy banks or forgotten boxes capture the imagination of millions. They remind us that sometimes fortune doesn't arrive with fanfare. It jingles quietly in your pocket, waiting to be discovered. The real excitement lies in the fact that these coins are still out there. Unlike ancient treasures locked away in museums, the 1982 penny continues to circulate, passed from hand to hand, often unnoticed. This makes every transaction, every handful of change, a potential lottery ticket. Anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon a life-changing penny without even realizing it at first. That element of chance is what gives the 1982 penny its mythical reputation. To hold a 1982 copper penny in your hand is to hold a piece of living history. You can feel its weight, its strength, its durability, a quality missing in the hollow sound of the zinc versions. This contrast makes the copper coin not just a collectible but a symbol of authenticity, a reminder of a time when even the smallest denominations carried true substance. That is why collectors around the globe are drawn to it with such intensity. As the years go by, the rarity of pristine 1982 copper cents will only increase. The more they disappear into private collections, the more their value will climb. Future generations will look back at these coins not just as pennies but as treasures, proof that even the humblest piece of change can rise to greatness. And for those who have the vision to recognize them today, the reward can be beyond imagination. In conclusion, the 1982 United States 1-cent copper coin is not just money, it is magic. It carries with the story of change, the thrill of rarity, the weight of real value, and the potential of unimaginable fortune. To ignore would be to ignore a golden opportunity, disguised as a penny. So if you ever come across this coin in good condition, hold it tightly, because you may very well be holding the key to rewriting your destiny overnight. Next up, the story of the 1989 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin **** is not just about a small piece of copper-colored metal. It is a tale of mystery, luck, and hidden fortune. At first glance, this coin looks ordinary, just like the millions of other pennies struck in the Denver Mint that year. But collectors know that sometimes the simplest-looking coins hold unimaginable secrets, and the 1989 D penny is one such treasure. Imagine holding in your hand what seems like an everyday coin, only to discover that it could completely change the course of your life overnight. The 1989 D penny carries a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner, the same design used since 1909. On the reverse, it shows a proud Lincoln Memorial, standing tall as a symbol of unity and freedom. But while the design seems familiar, the true power of this coin comes not from its look, but from the rare varieties, minting errors, and unique qualities that only a sharp-eyed collector can recognize. These rare versions of the 1989 D penny have become legendary in coin collecting circles. Think about it for a moment. The Denver Mint in 1989 produced billions of pennies. Most were struck in a copper-plated zinc composition, each weighing about 2.5 grams. But hidden among these billions could be error coins, double-die varieties, or experimental copper-struck pieces that never should have left the mint. These mistakes are what transform an everyday penny into a $1 million prize. It is these accidents of history that make the 1989 D penny so thrilling to hunt for. Now imagine finding such a coin tucked away in an old jar of change, sitting quietly in your drawer for decades. To the untrained eye, it is worth just 1 cent, but to a collector, it might be the key to a fortune worth millions. Stories circulate of ordinary people discovering rare 1989 D pennies in pocket change and auction houses turning them into global headlines. This is why coin collectors often say, never overlook a penny. Sometimes it carries the weight of gold. The copper side of the 1989 D penny also sparks curiosity. By 1982, the U.S. Mint had switched from solid copper to zinc with a thin copper coating. But if any experimental copper coins slipped through in 1989, they would be like diamonds among rocks. Imagine a penny weighing 3.1 grams instead of the usual 2.5 grams. This difference would mean it was struck in the rare older copper alloy. Such coins are not only rare, they are priceless pieces of history that collectors are willing to pay unimaginable amounts to own. One of the most powerful aspects of this coin story is its ability to change fortunes overnight. You could be living an ordinary day, sipping coffee, and then discover that the penny lying at the bottom of your wallet is one of the rarest on earth. Suddenly, that single coin could make you a millionaire. This is why the 1989 D penny has become a legend, a symbol of hidden wealth waiting to be uncovered. It is the kind of treasure that makes collectors' hearts race with excitement. But what makes the 1989 D penny even more captivating is the history it carries. 1989 was a year of transformation in the United States and around the world. The end of the Cold War, great technological leaps, and cultural shifts. The coins minted in that year hold the energy of that time, a snapshot of America standing on the edge of a new era. To own a rare 1989 D penny is like owning a piece of that history, preserved forever in copper and zinc. Collectors often say that coins are storytellers, and the 1989 D penny is no exception. Its story is not only about Abraham Lincoln or the Denver Mint. It is about chance, destiny, and the strange way history leaves hidden gems scattered among ordinary objects. The coin teaches us that fortune is not always found in gold or jewels, but sometimes in the smallest, most overlooked treasures. In today's market, demand for rare 1989 D pennies has skyrocketed. Auction houses whisper hidden sales reaching into the millions, as collectors compete fiercely for the rarest examples. It is not just about money. It is about prestige, history, and the thrill of owning something so unique. That's why if you ever come across a 1989 D penny, you should think twice before spending it casually. The power of this coin lies not only in its rarity, but also in the dreams it inspires. A single 1989 D penny could be the spark that turns a regular person into a wealthy collector, a hidden key to fortune waiting in your pocket. That thought alone has made people search through old jars, dusty basements, and inherited coin collections with renewed passion. Every coin hunter dreams of finding the one, and the 1989 D penny sits high on that list. What makes this story even more magical is that the 1989 D penny is still out there. It's not locked away in a museum. It could be in circulation. It could be in your change right now. That uncertainty, that possibility, is what drives collectors to keep searching, hoping that they will be the one to uncover the treasure everyone else overlooked. It is like a modern-day gold rush, except the gold is disguised as a humble 1-cent coin. So, if you ever find yourself holding a 1989 D penny, don't dismiss it as just another cent. Look closely. Check its weight, its details, its shine. Because within that tiny coin could lie unimaginable value, enough to make you a millionaire overnight. It is more than just money. It is history, mystery, and destiny all wrapped into one small copper side. The 1989 D penny is proof that sometimes the smallest things in life can hold the biggest fortunes. Next up, the 1995 D Lincoln 1-cent coin may seem like just another small piece of change, but beneath its simple copper-colored surface lies the potential to unlock unimaginable fortune. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin carries a familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been in America's pockets for over a century. Yet, within certain rare 1995 D pennies, there exists a magic so powerful that collectors are willing to pay staggering amounts, enough to turn an ordinary person into a millionaire overnight. What makes this coin so thrilling is a combination of its ordinary appearance and extraordinary potential. Billions of these coins were minted in 1995, each weighing just 2.5 grams and made mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating. To most people, it was worth no more than a single cent. But for collectors, rare errors Unusual varieties and experimental strikes have turned some of these coins into treasures worth millions. It is this contrast between the common and the priceless that makes the 1995 D penny one of the most exciting coins to hunt for. Imagine finding such a coin hidden in a jar of old change, sitting unnoticed for decades. You pick it up, and at first it seems ordinary. But as you look closer, you notice something unusual. Maybe a doubling in the lettering, maybe a weight that feels slightly heavier, or a shine that speaks of a different composition. That's when reality hits. You might be holding one of the rarest pennies ever created, a coin that could rewrite your destiny in an instant. One of the most fascinating things about the 1995 D penny is the possibility of minting errors. During high-speed production, the tiniest mistake, whether the double die, misaligned strike, or a planchet error, can create a coin unlike any other. While the mint intended to produce billions of identical coins, fate often has its own plans, leaving behind a few mistakes that collectors view as priceless works of art. These rare 1995 D errors are the golden tickets hidden among billions of ordinary cents. The copper side of the story is especially powerful. By 1995, the U.S. Mint had long switched from solid copper pennies to zinc-based coins. But every once in a while, a few copper planchets might have slipped into production, creating rare coins that weigh 3.1 grams instead of 2.5 grams. If you discover such a coin, you're not just holding a penny. You are holding a piece of history, a survivor from a forgotten era. Collectors value such finds beyond imagination, often paying sums that reach into millions. Think about the impact of this. A coin that most people would spend without a second thought could actually be the key to a fortune. That's why experts always say, never underestimate the penny in your hand. The 1995 D penny is living proof that fortune can hide in the smallest and most unexpected places. It is a symbol of how destiny often disguises itself in ordinary clothing. The history surrounding the 1995 D penny also adds to its power. America in the mid-1990s was stepping into a new digital age, filled with economic growth and technological change. The coins minted during this time represent that bridge between the old world and the modern era. Owning a rare 1995 D penny is like owning a frozen moment from that transition, a reminder of the era when coins still carried stories and surprises waiting to be discovered. Collectors often describe this coin as a whispering fortune. To the world, it whispers quietly from inside a drawer or pocket, waiting patiently to reveal itself. Some people live their entire lives without realizing they had a treasure within their reach, while others discover it by pure luck. This unpredictability is what makes the 1995 D penny so thrilling. It's not just about money. It's about destiny revealing itself in the most unexpected way. The market for rare pennies has exploded in recent years, and coins like the 1995 D are at the center of that storm. When one of these rare varieties comes to auction, collectors from around the world battle fiercely to own it. Bidding wars drive prices to heights that seem unbelievable, but to collectors, it's worth every cent to own a piece of history so rare, so valuable, and so legendary. What sets the 1995 D penny apart from other collectible coins is its mix of accessibility and rarity. Everyone has handled pennies. Everyone has jars of change. Unlike gold coins or silver dollars that feel distant and elite, the penny is humble, part of everyday life. And that's exactly what makes the discovery of a rare 1995 D penny so life-changing. You don't have to be wealthy to find it. You only need luck, sharp eyes, and a little curiosity. The very thought of this coin excites treasure hunters everywhere. Imagine digging through old boxes, checking inherited coin collections, or simply looking more carefully at your change, all driven by the possibility of striking it rich. The 1995 D penny has become more than a coin. It is a symbol of hope, a reminder that fortunes can be hiding in the most unexpected places, waiting for the right person to uncover them. So, if you ever come across a 1995 D1-cent coin, don't dismiss it as worthless. Look at it closely, weigh it, study its details. Because within that small copper side may lie the power to change your life forever. It is not just a penny. It is a piece of American history, A hidden gem, a fortune disguised as the most common thing in the world. The 1995 D penny proves that even the smallest coin can hold the greatest secret, and if destiny smiles on you, that secret could make you a billionaire overnight. Do you also want me to reshape this into a dramatic YouTube video script style, with hooks like "don't spend this penny" and pauses to keep viewers watching, so it's ready to record directly? Next up, the 1998 D Lincoln 1-cent coin is one of those treasures that most people overlook. Yet within its small copper-colored frame lies the power to completely transform a person's fortune overnight. Minted at the Denver Mint, this coin was produced in huge numbers. But as history has taught us, it is often among billions of ordinary coins that the rarest and most valuable ones emerge. And when we talk about the rarest 1998 D pennies, we are speaking of coins that could be worth millions in today's market. Coins that can make you a billionaire overnight if destiny places one in your hands. At first glance, the 1998 D penny looks ordinary. Abraham Lincoln stares proudly from the obverse, as he has since 1909, while the Lincoln Memorial rests on the reverse, a design symbolizing freedom and unity. But beneath this familiar face is a secret world of rarity, error coins, and special strikes that separate the common from the unimaginable. It is the possibility of finding one of these rare survivors that makes the 1998 D penny a legend among collectors. By 1998, the U.S. Mint had been producing pennies primarily with zinc cores coated in copper, weighing about 2.5 grams. But mistakes, accidents, and overlooked planchets sometimes allowed older copper compositions to sneak through. Imagine finding a 1998 D penny that weighs 3.1 grams instead of 2.5 grams. That tiny difference means you might be holding a coin that never should have existed, a rarity that collectors would pay staggering sums to own. This is why every coin hunter dreams of weighing their pennies, hoping to uncover that once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Errors are the heartbeat of numismatic legends, and the 1998 D penny is no exception. Striking misalignments, double-die obverse features, or unusual planchet flaws create one-of-a-kind coins that collectors value like rare diamonds. One small doubling of the date or lettering could mean the difference between a coin worth a cent and a coin worth millions. This is why collectors stare at pennies under magnifying glasses, chasing that one small flaw that turns copper into gold. The most fascinating part of this coin story is how such wealth hides in plain sight. Imagine an old jar of coins sitting in your kitchen cabinet. For years you pass it by without care. Then one day, you reach in, pull out a 1998 D penny, and realize it holds the power to change everything. The fortune that people dream of winning in lotteries could be sitting right in your home, disguised as a coin most would spend without a second thought. That's the magic of the 1998 D penny. Every coin carries history, and the 1998 D penny is no different. The year 1998 marked the edge of a new millennium. The world was preparing for dramatic changes, the rise of technology, globalization, and new opportunities. The coins minted that year were silent witnesses to this transition. To hold a rare 1998 D penny is to hold a slice of that moment in time, a piece of history preserved in metal. It is more than money. It is memory, destiny, and chance woven together. Collectors know that coins are storytellers, and the 1998 D penny tells a tale how even the smallest, humblest things can contain unimaginable value. This coin is proof that fortunes do not always lie in gold bars, silver ingots, or grand treasures, but sometimes in the smallest coin lying forgotten in your wallet or drawer. The 1998 D penny is a reminder that value is often hidden in the most unexpected places. In today's market, the demand for rare pennies like the 1998 D has exploded. Auctions have seen jaw-dropping battles where collectors bid higher and higher, each determined to claim ownership of a coin that almost no one else on earth possesses. For them, it is not just about wealth. It is about holding a symbol of rarity, prestige, and history in their hands. This is why, when a rare 1998 D penny appears, often sells for sums that leave the world stunned. But what makes this coin's legend so exciting is its accessibility. Unlike rare gold coins that only kings or the wealthy once touched, the 1998 D penny has circulated in the hands of everyday people. You could find it in your change after buying a coffee or discover it in an old coin collection passed down through your family. It is not distant. It is close, possible, and real. That accessibility is what fuels the dream of finding one. Think of the thrill this coin inspires. Coin collectors, treasure hunters, and even ordinary people sift through pennies late at night, driven by the hope that the next one they hold might be the rare 1998 D worth millions. It is like a modern-day treasure hunt, and every coin examined brings with it a heartbeat of excitement. The search itself becomes a journey of possibility, where every penny could be the one. The story of the 1998 D penny is ultimately a story of hope, fortune, and the mysterious ways destiny works. A coin worth just 1 cent in spending power could secretly hold the weight of a fortune. That is why experts say, never underestimate a penny. It is to dismiss the possibility of a hidden treasure lying in the palm of your hand. So, if you ever come across a 1998 D Lincoln penny, pause before spending it. Hold it, study it, weigh it, and inspect its details. Because within that small copper coin could be the power to change your life forever. This coin proves that sometimes the smallest things in life carry the greatest fortunes, and the 1998 D penny is living proof that your future wealth could already be resting quietly in your pocket. Next up, the year 1999 marked not only the final breath of the century, but also the last chapter before America stepped into a new millennium. Among the countless objects that carry the memory of that era, one coin has risen above the ordinary, a simple Lincoln 1-cent coin that today is being whispered about as one of the most valuable hidden treasures in the world of numismatics. Though at face value it was worth just a penny, its true worth in today's market could soar into unimaginable millions, all because of rarity, history, and condition. The 1999 Lincoln penny carries Abraham Lincoln's portrait, as it has since 1909, with the bold word liberty etched beside him, symbolizing the spirit of a nation. What makes this coin extraordinary is not just its design, but the subtle differences, mint variations, and the way time has preserved it. Collectors know that when a coin survives decades in good copper condition, it carries a beauty that money cannot define. Every coin is like a small time capsule, and the 1999 penny is no different. When it rolled out of the mint, no one thought it would become a legend. Yet, due to unique minting quirks, rare variations, and limited flawless examples, some of these coins have reached mythical status among collectors. Imagine holding in your palm a coin that most people dismiss as pocket change, but in reality, it's the golden ticket to overnight fortune. The copper shine of the 1999 penny is what draws the first gasp. Many were struck in zinc-coated copper-plated steel, but the ones that maintain their deep copper tone in perfect condition are like fiery gems among ordinary stones. These are the coins that gleam with history, and collectors chase them with hunger, willing to outbid one another into the stratosphere. Condition is the heartbeat of value. A 1999 penny in average circulation may not seem extraordinary, but when a coin is preserved without scratches, dents, or fading known as mint state, its value skyrockets. Such coins are often locked away in protective cases, untouched by human hands, guarded like family heirlooms. These coins are not merely cents. They are treasures of destiny. There are whispered tales among coin enthusiasts about people stumbling upon a 1999 penny in a forgotten jar or tucked away in an old family chest. What seemed like just a penny bought at the corner store years ago suddenly reveals itself to be a millionaire's key. That is the magic of rare coins. They lie silently in the shadows of daily life, waiting for destiny to strike. What sets the 1999 penny apart from many other years is its connection to the turn of the millennium. Collectors love symbolic years, and 1999 represents the end of the century, the closing of 1,000 years of history. Owning a flawless 1999 penny is like owning the final heartbeat of the 20th century, frozen forever in metal. This emotional pull magnifies its value beyond logic. The stories of these coins being sold at auctions for life-changing sums are nothing short of astonishing. Imagine a coin born in the ordinary routine of a mint factory floor later becoming the star of bidding wars, with collectors fighting to own a piece of history. Prices climb into hundreds of thousands, even millions, not because of the copper alone, but because of what the coin represents: rarity, perfection, and time itself. To a true collector, The 1999 penny is not just a coin, but a living artifact. It speaks of the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, the vision of Lincoln's legacy, and the quiet endurance of something so small yet so powerful. Its copper surface reflects more than light. It reflects the story of America's resilience, from the Civil War to the digital age. Many people underestimate the coins in their pockets, tossing them carelessly into drawers or vending machines. Yet history has proven that even the smallest coin can hold unimaginable wealth. The 1999 Lincoln cent is the perfect example. It is a reminder that treasures often hide in plain sight, disguised as ordinary until right eyes uncover them. For those fortunate enough to hold one in flawless condition, the decision becomes a powerful one. Keep it as a timeless piece of history, or exchange it for wealth that can change lives overnight. Either way, the owner of such a coin holds the key to fortune and legacy. One coin can build empires, fund dreams, and transform ordinary life into a story of triumph. So when you glance at a penny, especially one dated 1999, remember this. It may look like a mere cent, but hidden within it could be the spark of destiny. A coin that once jingled unnoticed in pockets now has the power to crown someone a millionaire. Do not dismiss it, for sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest fortunes. That is the everlasting mystery and magic of the 1999 Lincoln penny.